And so you're listening to Youth on Assignment on WSUM 91.7 FM Madison. So now continuing on, we have with us a guest that was here in months past who has already joined us but has a new album out. So thank you for joining us, Jacob.
Thanks for having me.
So first of all, what can you tell us? Why are you here? What is it that you do?
Well, I'm a local musician. I'm based out of here in Madison, Wisconsin, and I just released a new EP that came out today, and so I'm here to tell you about it, and so have people listen to it.
Well, thank you so much for choosing us to be the ones that you share it with.
Well, thanks for having me.
So before we hear that, can you tell us what kind of music do you play?
Well, it's mainly just solo acoustic when I play live, and it's kind of got that Ed Sheeran, John Mayer, kind of Damien Rice feel, but the album's just kind of easy listening. It's just something you can put on and just kind of chill.
And what made you want to get into music? What was your
inspiration?
Yeah, your inspiration.
Well, my dad has always played music. He's been playing guitar, and he's been in bands ever since he was in high school, and he picked up the guitar when he was in 5th grade, and just kind of growing up watching him play, watching him do his thing, I was like, wow, I feel like I want to do that too. And so I just kind of took that idea and started running with it and kind of made it my own thing.
So what inspires you? Like, what is the meaning behind your songs?
Well, I kind of try to take inspiration from a lot of different places, but the general theme of this EP, I guess, is just kind of love and having it and then losing it and just kind of everywhere in between, and trying to tell just the stories that I've experienced or seen other people experience.
Were there any major challenges when you became a musician?
Well, there's always the challenge of what do I do next? Like, there's kind of this mentality amongst musicians as of late where you get good and then you wait to be discovered. We wait for opportunities to come at you, but it's more of a matter of looking for opportunities and seeing opportunities in places where you won't really expect to see them. I've gotten to be able to play shows and go on tour. I just got back from tour and do all the things that I've done because of the people that I've met and the opportunities that have been in front of me that I've tried to take advantage of. And so just, I guess the biggest challenge is just convincing yourself that you need to find out what's next.
What do you do during that waiting period? I know you said you look for opportunities and everything, but what can you do to, I guess just keep your head in the place that I want to do this. This is what I want to do with my life when it can become tough during that time.
You get better. You sit in your room or wherever you sleep and you play guitar. You write good music. You pour your soul out, and you remember that the reason you're doing it is because you love it, and there's nothing else you can do. So you just do that, and you just keep writing, keep playing, getting better, and then taking advantage of the opportunities.
I understand you have an album out. What's the whole process in releasing an album? How does that happen?
Well, you gotta find people who know how to record and know how to do all that. My uncle actually owned a studio and was based out in Nashville, so I went out and I visited him, and we recorded "Stumble in the Dark," which was the first song that we listened to earlier. And the entire time we were recording it, he taught me the process. He taught me how to do it, and so I stayed at home, made a makeshift studio, and recorded the rest of the album, and just found ways to do it, and I would always send him tracks to be like, all right, how's this sound? And he'd be like, it's awful. Do it again. Oh, all right. And that there was just kind of the process of sending things back and forth. How do I make this sound like this? And that took about a year. And now, like last summer, we recorded Stumble in the Dark, and now just this year we're getting ready to release it.
So in a sense, it's like a do-it-yourself kind of thing.
Yeah, a little bit of a DIY project.
I remember you saying your dad is part of your inspiration of why you chose music. But at what age did you actually start playing music?
Oh, well, I got a guitar when I was in middle school, and then I didn't really touch it till high school, and I just kind of learned like just random songs and power chords and not really real chords, and just how to play things. And then around junior year, I started writing songs and just trying to do things. And then I went off to college at UW Whitewater for a little bit, and it wasn't really for me. Just not a good fit. And then I decided, I'll do music and professionally and try and get that going. And now we're here.
And you mentioned that you just recently got back from tour. What was that like? Where did you go? How long did that last?
We were gone for just under 3 weeks. It actually wasn't my tour. It was my friend Max Dvorak's tour, and I was the tour manager. But I got to play a couple shows, so that was the good part. And we started off in Minneapolis, and we went up to Winnipeg in Canada, and then we went down to Duluth, Des Moines, Lawrence, Kansas, Joplin, Missouri, Nashville, Huntsville, Alabama, Atlanta, Georgia. And we had 2 days off, and we went up to and on those 2 days off, we went up to Myrtle Beach and Virginia Beach. And then after that, we went to Fairfax, Virginia, Washington, D.C., Philly, and that's it. And then we came home. Thomas, West Virginia, and then we came home.
Quite the list.
Right.
Yeah.
How long did that last?
That was just under 3 weeks, and it was an exhausting 3 weeks. It was actually supposed to be longer, but we had to cut it short a little bit.
Man, that's a lot of gas money.
It's a lot of gas money. We ran into a lot of generous people and a lot of generous family who were very willing to help us out, and that was incredible.
So does by you being, dropping your album and everything, has your life changed, like family, friends, and loved ones or anywhere? Like
it hasn't so much changed. It's still very much the same. It's just a lot of adding the fact that I have an album out to the regular conversation. So it's like, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Jacob Jones. I have an album out on iTunes. You should go check that out. It's called Monster. Yeah. How are you doing? A lot of that.
So on a little more, talking about your music, on a more personal note, you said a lot of it is about love. Is it more, is it family? Is it friends? Is it past, love interest experiences? Where does it all come from?
It's kind of a mixture of all of them. I try to take inspiration from multiple places as to better have people relate to it and be a little less focused on one particular thing. And so, it's just a mix of my own stories as well as other people's stories.
Jacob, you seem to be ignoring the details. We want details.
Thank you, Tim. Well, details about which song? We've only heard one.
Well, then let's talk about that one for now.
I mean, it would kind of be weird to talk about the rest. We don't know.
I mean, yeah.
So.
Stumble in the Dark is it's kind of a story of its own. It's kind of the idea of comparing past relationships to future relationships and not seeing the person as someone new. And the idea, I'm trying to be ambiguous, but I'm also trying to get across the point.
Don't be ambiguous.
it's just the idea of realizing that everyone is different, and every relationship is different, every love is different, and it's not going to be the same as it was. And it's the as the character in the song and the story is coming to realize that. That's yeah.
Well, before we talk about more of your music, we are gonna take a quick break, and then we will have you back playing a live song for us, hopefully. But the time is 9:29, and you're listening to Youth on Assignment on WSUM 91.7 FM Madison. And here is a public service announcement.
You're driving downtown and your favorite song comes on the radio. What do? You jam out, of course, but you end up losing control of the wheel because you had too much to drink, and suddenly your life has changed forever. When you go out next time, make sure to have a designated driver, and please, don't drink and drive. A message from us here at 91.7 FM, WSUM, Madison.
So you're listening to Youth on Assignment on WSUM 91.7 FM Madison. And in case you just tuned in, joining us is Jacob Jones, and he is about to play a live song for us, Stumble in the Dark, which we were just talking about, and hopefully we'll be talking about a little more after. So here it is, Stumble in the Dark by Jacob Jones.
And I've tried so hard to just get by. Can I say it again for the last time? And now you're gone, gone, gone away, and I did stay. And now you're gone, gone, gone away, and I'm afraid. And I stumble in the dark, get myself lost. Where is my home? Doing what I know with someone I don't. She isn't you. It's everything I've done since you walked away. Disappears every time I hear your name. And now you're gone, gone, gone away, and I did stay. And now you're gone, gone, gone away, and I'm afraid. And I stumble in the dark, get myself lost. Where is my home? Doing what I know with someone I don't. She isn't you. And I see you in everyone. I see you in everything. Your light is calling me. So I run to the night. And I stumble in the dark, get myself lost. Where is my home? Doing what I know, someone I don't. She isn't you. She isn't you. And I stumble in the dark, we get ourselves lost. This is my home. Doing what I know with someone I love, aren't her. You aren't her. You aren't her. I need someone new. Be my someone new. I love you. I love you. 'Cause you aren't her. You aren't her. Thank you.
So for a reminder, that was Jacob Jones joining us live in our studio. That song was live, Stumble in the Dark. Thank you so much for playing that for us.
Yeah, no problem.
Just for anyone that didn't hear, could you, in just a few words, tell us what that song was about for you?
It's about the process of understanding that love is different, and no two people that you're in love with is going to be the same. It's going to be the same love. It's going to be different, and it's the process of understanding that.
What is the process of writing songs?
You experience life, and then you wait until you feel your soul reach up and grab you and say, "Get down here," and pull you into your chest, and then you write beautiful music.
Do you have like a special pen or a place you like to sit and write?
I like to sit where it's quiet. And I'm not too picky on my pen choice. Whatever writes and works, and preferably is a black pen.
And you said when you write music, you experience life. What life experience led you to write this song? What?
Oh man,
What was your?
I feel it coming.
Who did it?
It's it's just a bad breakup, man. Good relationship, bad breakup. Yeah, that's about it.
Maybe I should write a couple of songs.
Well, I got a message from a listener that was just wondering if you could say again, how did you get started with your music? What made you want to do this?
It was my dad mainly. My dad when he was in college and high school, and his entire life has been playing guitar, playing music, did bands, was in bands for a living. It was crazy. And I was like, hey, I can do that, and now here I am trying to do that and doing it somewhat.
I know you mentioned before you'd like to have us possibly cue up another song from your CD. What song would you like us to put on?
Well, the album's called Monster. Let's listen to Monster.
All right.
Track 2.
So before we get that on, would you tell us a little bit about Monster? What is that exactly?
It's another song. It's just a song about realizing it's the song. The song is about the idea that you're not good enough, and you're not really ready for life. That was profound.
Well, here it is, Monster.
Well, I've been lost too long when fighting for love I need, and I'm afraid to fall for love I will mislead. And now, is it you I want to love, just to find my way around? Run away from me, I am a monster. Close your eyes and flee. I am a monster I never meant to be. Your storm and thunder, save yourself from me. I am a monster.
been strong too much. I let myself get in the way. And I'm sorry, my love was always meant to decay. And now, is it you I want to love, just to find my way around? Run away from me, I am a monster. Close your eyes and flee. I am a monster, I never meant to be. Your storm and thunder, save yourself from me. I am a monster, I am a monster, I never meant to. I am a monster, I never meant to. I am a monster, I am a monster, I am a monster. From me, I am a monster. Close your eyes and flee. I am a monster, I never meant to be. Your storm and thunder, save yourself from me. I am a monster. To be. I'm so sorry, I never meant to be. I'm so sorry, I never meant to be. I'm so sorry. I am a monster.
That was Jacob Jones with Monster. You're listening to Youth on Assignment on WSUM 91.7 FM Madison. Before we continue asking you any questions about your songs, your music, anything, can you tell us a little bit, where can we find this music that we keep hearing on here?
Well, the whole album just came out on iTunes this morning, and it's on Spotify, Amazon. You can Shazam it. It's kind of everywhere. But yeah, just search. You can go to my website, iamjacobjones.com, and everything is there.
All right, so Jacob Jones, I'm kind of stumbling in the dark here a little bit. Right? I want to know about these tattoos you have. You have quite a few.
Yes.
Well, before we start, for our listeners, Javante, will you describe, because they can't see his tattoos?
Well, I mean, he has this one tattoo on his arm. Wow, it's a skull. And then he has another one on his forearm. I think it's a
Rose
with
flower?
a dragon or something. I don't
Peonies
know.
and
Yeah.
Phoenix.
Phoenix. Oh, that's what that is. Wow.
Words, and got a fish.
Fish.
I got another thing. I got I got a lot. This is really good radio.
Uh-huh.
Hey, look at this one. Yeah, it looks good.
Yep,
All right,
awesome.
moving
I
on.
can see it.
But yeah, I actually work at a tattoo shop. It's a Dead Anchor Tattoo on Monroe Street, right across the street from Trader Joe's. Really good people, and they do all my work, and I love them.
Let me get a discount.
Well, is there any stories behind specific tattoos? I know we were talking a little bit before when your song was on. You have one of your tattoos on your arms is also the image on the cover of your CD.
Yeah, that's it's just my attempt at branding. I've got this sun, this little sun with a Celtic trinity in it, and it's on the album cover. It's on my T-shirts. It's on everything. You guys should really see it. It looks really good.
We're showing it to you right now over
I
the
don't know if
radio.
you can see it, but I'm holding it up.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Any specific story behind it?
Well, I was in the market for a new tattoo, and there's meaning in it. There's the symbol in the center is kind of the non-religious Trinity in Celtic culture, and I'm gonna explain this, and then someone's gonna tell me I'm wrong, but whatever. The Trinity, one of the meanings of it is power, love, and intellect, and I put it at the center of the sun to kind of as my own idea of spreading that message around and encouraging those ideas.
Okay. And what about your other tattoos? What are the stories or meaning behind those?
You're just a monster. You're just gonna keep asking questions about these tattoos, huh? I want to hear more music. You guys good.
Well, I have 12 tattoos, and I just got one the other day, and it's to explain them all would be really arduous. So I can explain them to you after when we're off the air. But also, if any listeners want to see the tattoos, I have a show tonight at True Coffee Roasters, and you can come and listen to some good music and look at some cool tattoos.
What time is that show at?
It's at 7. The doors open at 7:30, and the show starts at 8. And it's at True Coffee Roasters in Fitchburg.
Yeah, just come set free, you know.
I appreciate using my song names.
Oh no, man, I can't stand in the water like that though. So it's like, I don't know.
They haven't heard that one yet, they don't.
Yeah, I haven't.
No one understands much. Anyways, you mentioned a few times that your dad is one of your biggest inspirations. One thing that talking to other artists that have had parents as inspirations, there's been a wide range of answers to this question of whether their parents have encouraged or discouraged going into the music business. What's your side of that story?
Well, I was very fortunate to have parents who are very encouraging. When I wanted to go to UW Whitewater for music, they were like, "We support you." And when I left UW Whitewater to do music, they're like, "We support you." And they've just been very supportive, very, very aiding of my process, and very understanding of when it doesn't go well. So,
do you have any advice for anyone who wants to start a music career?
Just play shows, play wherever you can, and then write good songs. Just put the work in and own it.
So would you say writing songs is probably the hard part of being a musician?
Absolutely. It doesn't take a lot to write a bad song. I had songwriting explained to me one way where it's like a bad faucet where you turn the water on and a lot of bad water comes out, and you got to get through the bad water to get to the water that's drinkable. And it's a lot like songwriting, because you got to get out the really bad songs before you write a good one.
Who gave you those words of advice?
I don't even know. Just somewhere in my travels. Wow, I hate saying that.
And one more question before we have you play another song.
Two more.
Okay, two more. One from me. You on a little bit of a different side of things, you just got back from a tour with Max Dvorak, and you said that since it wasn't exactly your tour, you were the manager
Yes.
of it. What did that entail? What does that mean for you?
A lot of administrative stuff. So I advanced all the shows. I emailed ahead to the venues and made sure we knew what time we had to be there, what time the show started, ticket price, all that jazz. And it was a lot of just being the manager. I guess it's a really ambiguous job title, and it was fun. It was entertaining.
So besides the guitar, what other instruments do you play?
I play a mean kazoo.
Ooh.
I don't actually. I'm sorry. I know a little bit of piano, and I try to know a little bit of what I can, but it's mainly just guitar and somewhat singing.
In that last song, Monster, we heard there was some drum in there, correct?
Yes.
Was that you or someone else?
That was not me. That was my uncle.
All right, okay. And
Family musicians.
and just as a reminder to our listeners, that song was not recorded in a professional studio.
That was at my house.
See, perfect. Well, so now is there another song you'd like to play for us?
Yeah. This is actually a song that's not on the album, and against my better judgment, I wrote this like 4 days ago.
Perfect.
Oh, there we go. This is a song called Coffee. And so many walls to find just to break them down. With thoughts like wrecking balls, we've opened up the sky. And I felt your majesty from your fragile, heart-shaped crown. Away from your throne, I know it's so hard just to try. 'Cause you're not ready to love me, but I don't think I can go. So can I stay for a little while until your coffee is cold as snow? And so many times we've tried to get back to where we were, but once you've been broken, it's not so easy to fix. You get used to the pieces not fitting together, I'm sure. So we'll drink till we wake up, please. Won't you pass the sugar? 'Cause you're not ready to love me, but I don't think I can go. So can I stay for a little while until your coffee is cold as snow? 'Cause you're not ready to love me, but I don't think I can go. So can I stay for a little while until your coffee is cold as snow? And you held me so tight that I fit back together. You've taken me in with your light. If I take you in, will you fit back together, please? You did the same for me. 'Cause you're not ready to love me, but I don't think I can go. So can I stay for a little while until your coffee is cold as, and you're not ready to love me, but I don't think I can go. So can I stay for a little while until your coffee is cold as snow? Until your coffee is cold as snow. Thank you.
Well, thank you. That was Jacob Jones with Coffee. That is not on his album. He just wrote that, correct?
Correct.
Well, it was amazing. Thank you
Man.
for sharing that
Well,
with
thank you.
us.
I don't even drink coffee, but I just fell in love with coffee right there.
Thanks, man.
Well, I'm going to take you up on something you said earlier off the radio, that you would give us a little more if we asked you about your songwriting and digging deep into your soul. But what if you can't? What do you do in the process?
You write something bad.
Or
Or something with less substance. I think that the best songs are the ones that come from the heart, and sometimes your heart's not giving, your heart's not talking. It's not helping you out. So, but you have to write. You have to write to get better, and you have to be able to just when the heart talks, you have to know how to write. You have to be able to do that. And so you spend your time writing songs just about anything. You just look outside and say, "Oh, what a beautiful day. I'm going to write a song." Or
a beautiful day.
"Look at that dog. I hate that dog." I'm going to write a song about how much I hate that dog. Or just anything, really. And as long as you're practicing, just practicing. Songwriting needs practice. It requires practice. You have to keep doing it. And so it's just one of those things, so that when you do have something to write about and you have something you need to talk about, you're well versed. You've gotten enough practice so that you know how to do that.
So would you say your emotions do most of the controlling of what kind of songs you write?
Yes and no. It's more of the way I've been doing it lately is I noodle around on the guitar, and I find a chord progression, I find a riff, I find whatever I need to find, and I once I find one that I like, once that I feel like fits with my voice or whatever, I blanked for a second. I find one I like, and then I think how that makes me feel, what emotion that the music itself provides, and I think, what stories do I know, what lives have I lived to be able to make that a good song, and I just kind of put two and two together and try my hardest. Hope it's good.
What do you mean by the term when you say riff?
Riff? It's a riff is just a guitar line or any kind of line. It's just a musical line.
So, in your songs, what would come first, the words or the music, or do you come up with them together?
It's usually the music first, and it's very rarely the words first, because for a long time for me, putting music to lyrics was the most difficult thing ever. And so if I have the music, it's mainly like soloing with your voice, which is easier.
So if it is the music first, is there any special music knowledge, like I do this in C sharp or B flat or
well, you can have that. A friend of mine, his name's Alex Appleton, he writes a lot with me. He doesn't know any music theory, but he writes some of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard, and it's really frustrating, actually. But he's very talented, and he doesn't know music theory. He just plays, as he says, he plays what sounds good.
Now, I know nothing about writing songs, but I would have said you come up with the words and then the music. Do you think, is that a personal thing for you, or would you say most musicians and artists do that, or is that just you?
Well, that's kind of a difficult question to answer, because I don't know most musicians.
Right. I guess from your experience. Would you?
From my experience, that's common, but that's because I haven't really written with too many people. But like songwriting is kind of like a sacred thing that musicians have, and it's the process that only they have. And it's actually a really difficult thing to talk about because it's such a personal endeavor, and it's so encoded into your DNA that it's one of those things where it's like, I could talk about it, but I'm not always sure how I do it.
So as we're running out of time, I have one final question for you, and that is, if you had one message you'd like to put out there for, aspiring musicians or anyone that's, wanting to make it to where you are and release an album or, just write a song, what would it be?
Just try. 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 Just try.